Number 33. Missing Shadows. Pureblood Heartless are formed when the darkness within one's heart is allowed to grow and consume it, thus pulling it into darkness, in Ansem's own words. Thus, their darkness, their own shadow, envelops their heart and pulls it to the side of darkness. For Emblem Heartless, the heart is not actually consumed, it's just captured. This is why the Keyblade can release the captured heart. Remember the statement? Pitiful Heartless, mindlessly collecting hearts. The rage of the Keyblade releases those hearts. You can slay as many Pureblood Heartless as you want, they never release their captured heart. Thus, the organization here were referring to Emblem Heartless. Emblem Heartless are formed when a captured heart is enveloped by darkness. The heart is kidnapped by the Heartless, essentially, and is completely intact within the Heartless shell. Thus, by vanquishing the darkness with the Keyblade, or a giant blast of light, the body of the Emblem Heartless can be destroyed, and the heart will be released, in which case it will then return to Kingdom Hearts. Well, when Sora hit himself with the Keyblade of people's hearts, he awakened the true darkness inside of himself, and his heart was consumed by his own internal darkness, thus becoming a Pureblood Heartless, in this case, a Shadow. Well, Sora wasn't the only Pureblood Heartless created that day. For those of you who watched my original 101 Things You Didn't Know About Kingdom Hearts 1, you'll be well aware that Pureblood Heartless don't have shadows, while Emblem Heartless do. Well, remember this?
Now, open your heart. Surrender it to the darkness. Become darkness itself!
This is it. This power! Darkness. The true darkness!
Yep, Maleficent has her darkness released as well. You might be wondering, well, if she also experienced the true darkness, why didn't she turn into a Pureblood Heartless? Well, I'd like to direct your attention to the ground beneath her. As you will see, Dragon Maleficent does not have a shadow. Number 34. Vanishing Rabbit. When you play the Muddy Trail minigame in the 100 Acre Wood, you can come over here to this hole where Rabbit is hiding. If you walk near him, he'll run back inside the hole and will despawn in full view of the camera, and then run out of another hole. He will repeat this process until you interact with him using the triangle button. Number 35. Merlin's Astronomy, Part 1. Now here's a big one. If you look just here in Merlin's house, you can see that he has a large telescope. You may find this a bit strange, considering that his house is inside of a crevice in a cliffside. But if you go outside, you can see that there is in fact a small gap with which he can see the sky. So you may be wondering why this matters, and why in this particular direction. Well, have you ever wondered how the gang knew which direction to go throughout the game? Once you get outside of our local world group, you have to slowly discover new worlds based on their approximate locations in space. So, who do you think has been telling Sid where to program the gummy ship map? Well, if you come back into Merlin's house, you can see that he has a poster up on the wall showing some coloured orbs that are linked together with lines. Look familiar? Yeah. Merlin, from the very beginning of the game, knows the full layout of the sky, and he's been working together with Sid to tell him how to program the gummy ship computer to locate these worlds. The red dot in the upper right corner is Traverse Town, while the purple one is Deep Jungle. You can see this by how they're sharing the same orbital circle. The white circle on the bottom left is Hollow Bastion. In fact, you can even walk outside and look up to the sky, and you can see Deep Jungle and Hollow Bastion with your naked eye. The small star near the bottom is likely Hollow Bastion, and the smaller one right next to it is most likely Neverland. This one is Atlantica, this one is Halloween Town, and this bright one here is Olympus Coliseum. The map is viewed upside down. So, what's the big circle in the middle? Well, I'll tell you that one in part 2. Don't worry, it all lines up. Number 36. Dumbo vs Oogie Boogie. Well, we all know by now about Dumbo's exploits in Hollow Bastion, and all the important skips that he can help you with. Well, here's one more, this time in Halloween Town. During the boss fight against Oogie's Manor, you'll spawn up here where the bridge used to be. Well, you're supposed to jump down, and then climb Oogie's Manor and attack the Shadow Globs. However, if you summon Dumbo right here, then fly up as high as you can go, you can actually fly over to the upper layers of Oogie's house without having to scale the building first. Number 37. Mushu and Pot Spiders. In my previous countdown list, I demonstrated that pot and barrel spiders could be identified by throwing something at them. If the pot or barrel smashed, then it was a normal pot or barrel. But if it was still standing afterwards, then there was a Heartless inside. Well, let's say for some reason that you're still afraid of pot or barrel spiders, even with this incredibly niche knowledge. So, you're just extremely indecisive, extremely afraid of them, even after throwing every piece of priceless china in sight in its general direction, you're still a bit unsure. Well, do I have news for you? There is actually another way to identify them. Simply summon Mushu, and target the pot or barrel in question, and shoot some fire blasts at it. If it can take an entire magazine of dragon fire, then it's a Heartless in disguise. If it breaks with a single fireball, then it's just a normal piece of furniture. Number 38. Sniper Wild stares at the wall. During the fight with the Sniper Wild Heartless in Traverse Town, you may not have stuck around long enough to notice, but they're kinda dumb. If you follow the first one around until he lands in this specific area, then he'll just endlessly stare at this wall. You can even get fairly close to them in this state without being noticed. Just don't get too close though, because it can sense you if you're literally breathing down its neck. Number 39. Blitzball reference. On Destiny Islands, on the first day, you can continuously refuse Tidus' offer to fight. And he will continually cycle through a few lines of dialogue. If you keep on going, he'll eventually tell you about a game that he and Waka came up with, where they're playing with a ball underwater. This is a reference to the game that Tidus and Waka actually play in Final Fantasy X, known as Blitzball. Number 40. Olympus Coliseum misspelling. If you come to Olympus Coliseum at any point, you can see that Coliseum is actually misspelled. The correct spelling is on screen right now. It involves 2 O's and 2 S's. In-game, it's spelled with 1 O and an I. So it actually turns out we've all been coming to Olympus Coliseum the whole time. Number 41. You can climb on Oogie Boogie's face. Well, if Oogie Boogie wasn't scary enough for you, well, you're in luck. Because now you can make the resurrected dark spirit of the literal bogeyman into even more of a joke than he already was by just walking all over his face. You can even show off some Asura spider powers by just sticking right here on his upper lip. Number 42. You can clip through the floor in Neverland. Now this is a minor nitpick, but Sora can slightly clip through the floor if you hover just close enough to the ground in Neverland. Get too low and he'll actually land. Which kind of discounts the name of Never Landing, but there you go, man. You could slightly face Sora's foot below the ground if you hover just barely above ground. Number 43. Avoiding Riku with the fountain. During the story mode after reaching Hollow Bastion, you have to fight Riku for the first time since you met him on Destiny Islands. And we've already covered him on this list as being immune to most forms of magic, except of course for Genie. However, did you know you can actually come over here to this fountain and he'll find it very hard to hit you up there? And if you have a downed party member, such as my pal Goofy right here, he will be completely unable to get up there or hit you from down where he is. So you can completely cheese the fight from this location. Number 44. Opening chests when you've already maxed out on items. Now come on guys, we've all asked this question at least once. Don't lie to me. Well, what happens when you open a treasure chest when you've already got 99 of that item? Well, ask no more, for I have the answer. Very little, it seems. Number 45. The Neverland Cabin Inconsistency. If you come to the cabin in Neverland, You can fly up with some very precise movements, which will let you see into the captain's cabin without actually entering through the loading trigger. Well, as you can see, the table that would normally have goblets on it, the one that I pointed out in my previous videos to be a hidden Mickey, isn't actually here from this perspective. Also, none of the lanterns are lit up here either, despite being clearly lit when you enter the actual room. Number 46. Shadow Safe Spot. Now, there are many areas in the game where you can actually exploit this fact, but the Shadow Heartless are actually extremely badly programmed. And if you go into certain areas of the game where the game doesn't expect you to go, the shadows are actually incapable of getting to you. So, for example, over here on Destiny Islands, right next to where Kyrie was standing on day 1, you can literally just stand here, and the shadows will just spend time struggling to get to you. Now, they can get up here, but it's pretty hard for them to share the same spot with you for more than a few seconds, so they can just fall straight back off. And over here in Traverse Town as well. If you stand over here on this box, the shadows, funny enough, can actually push this box, but all they'll end up doing is pushing you further into the corner, and they can't actually jump up there with you, meaning that you're completely safe from damage. And you can also just pick one of these boxes up, throw it on top of the post box, stand up there, and the shadows once again will be unable to jump up there. You can also see a funny little glitch where the shadows are standing in mid-air. Number 47. Heartless falling animations. Well, from experimenting with the game yourselves, you're probably already aware that Sora can fall endlessly if you get him stuck in certain locations. Well, this can also happen to the Heartless, allowing this little gem to occur, where the Heartless will pose for the camera. Number 48. Shadows can't swim. Now, have you ever wondered why you don't see any normal Heartless in Atlantica? Well, I have the answer. As you can see, non-aquatic Heartless can't swim. On a side note, they can't drown either, even when submerged for quite a few minutes. So either they have a really good set of lungs, or they just don't need to breathe. This can also be seen with the white stop mushrooms, which simply walk around at the bottom of the ocean with the same ease as if they were walking through air. Number 49. Magic cancelling. Now, you may have come across this phenomenon yourself by mistake, usually by trying to cast a cure spell in the air, only to land on the ground, which then cancels your spell. Well, this is actually able to be performed with any spell in the game, as you can see right here on screen with Thunder Magic. Number 50. Looping Captain Hook. Most of you already know that Captain Hook will panic and jump in the water if you cast fire spells on him. Well, here's a tip for those of you having trouble fighting him. Did you know that casting thunder on him will cause him to enter this animation that you're seeing on screen right now? He's completely vulnerable to physical attacks while doing it, so feel free to whack away at him anytime he's doing this JoJo pose. Well, by unequipping High Jump, you can use our number 49 entry on the list to cancel your thunder spell midway through using it. If you do this, Hook will still do his JoJo pose, but you won't lose any MP in the process, allowing you to infinitely spam attacks and thunder combos until he runs out of health. Number 51. White mushrooms can be stunned. Most of the time, if you hit a white mushroom with anything other than its preferred spell, which it will tell you about via charades, then it'll just get angry and teleport away. Well, there is one way to hit it. Simply summon Simba and charge up a proud roar. As you can see, all the white mushrooms within range will bend over, stunned. If you wait around for a minute, it'll eventually recover, then get angry with you and teleport away. Unfortunately, because I know you're wondering, no, it doesn't do anything special if you hit it while stunned. It just sobers up, gets mad at you, and then teleports away. Number 52. Trippy Portal. If you come over to the portal where you would enter the boss arena for Maleficent, or the Unknown Man fight, you can stand right behind it, and if you do, you can see a cool visual effect for any character that's standing next to it at the time. Number 53. Out of Bounds Heartless. Well, in my past video, I showed you how you can get Sora out of bounds. Well, here I'm going to show you how you can get Heartless out of bounds. If you come into Monstro's stomach, this can work in the doorway between most sections of his stomach. There is actually a small no-clip zone in most of them that you can hit a Heartless through, allowing them to fly around outside of bounds. It's hard to perform though, because Donald and Goofy will try their hardest to hit it while you're trying to get this glitch to work. Number 54. Destiny Island's Hidden Mickey. On Destiny Islands, you can look up to this tree right above the Tidus fight on the first day to see 3 purple leaf discs. Well, these purple leaf discs just so happen to form a Hidden Mickey. Number 55. Harmless Sabor. Isn't it a lovely day outside? Yeah, anyway guys, this room is potentially the worst boss arena in the game. There are, like, way too many points you can stand on that you can use to completely avoid being hit. Like up here on this box. Also, as I'm trying to show you right now on screen, if you stand just behind this pillar underneath the stairs, Sabor will be completely unable to get you, because there's some kind of invisible force that pushes her away that doesn't affect Sora. You can even trap Sabor in this invisible wall section, and then you can just roam around in the other parts of the treehouse. Yeah, anyway guys, this room is potentially the worst boss arena in the game. There are way too many points you can stand on or hide behind to avoid being hit, and you can cheese this fight so easily. Number 56. Peekaboo with Leon. During the fight with Leon in Traverse Town, you can basically lure him wherever you want, and he will follow you there to the best of his limited ability. Well, if you get up on the roof of the accessory shop and come over here, you can actually stand on this random ledge, allowing you to witness this beautiful scene. Need I say more? Number 57. Simba the Boss Nuke. If you come into the boss fight against Maleficent in her dragon form, you'll find that she has become strangely weak to Simba. Simply come over here onto this branch. Don't worry, there's only one move in her entire arsenal that can even hit you up here. Now just charge up Simba's roar, and it'll take off half of each of her health bars.
Heal! Courage!
This is Proud Mode with a level 49 Sora. Now I'll just finish the fight off with Genie because Simba did time out. Well, you can see that I actually gain EXP for defeating her, showing you that EXP 0 isn't even equipped here. Number 58. Destiny Island's Barrel Breaking. In my last video I demonstrated how you can use this barrel over here to cheat during the fight against Tidus, Selphie and Whacker on Destiny Islands, by using it as a shield to disrupt their more annoying attacks, such as Selphie's skipping rope charge. Well, since it works so well against the FF10 trio, the next logical step would be to try and get it up to Riku so you can cheese the fight with him too, right? However, it seems like the game developers were actually aware of this trick themselves, and they programmed it to break if you try and move it up to him. So, you can try and throw it up on top of the seaside shack, then it'll break up there. The same thing happens if you try and throw it into the ocean and get it up that way. I also tried to push the barrel through the water to see if you can get it up by just nudging it through. Once you get it a certain distance, it'll be too low down and Sora will simply stand on top of it. Yep, the game devs planned for this. Number 59. Flying Cloud. Well, if you've come down to Olympus Coliseum, then you'll see that there is a certain cloud that is just walking around here on ground level. I mean, clouds are supposed to fly in the sky, right? I mean, what are you doing all the way down here, buddy? Don't worry, we'll get you back up to your family in no time, little guy. So, simply come into the Cloud fight in the Olympus Coliseum and get Cloud airborne. Good, now just spam stop and physical hits. Maybe add some elixirs to refresh your spell usages. And just continue chaining hits in stop time. Then... ah, look at him go! Be free! Join your kind in the sky, little one. We did a good thing today. Wait, what? You could already fly? What the hell? Number 60. Shadow Displacement. Sora's shadow will actually appear twice if he is standing on some elevated surfaces. You can see this specifically on the table where Kyrie's grandmother was sat in that one cutscene. As you can see, Sora's shadow will both be on the table and underneath it at the same time. This will happen only on certain elevated surfaces, but just as an example, you can also do it over here on this table right next to the save point as well. It'll also work on the table just outside on Captain Hook's ship. But if I come over here to the table in Wonderland, it's all lined up completely properly. Same thing if I come to the desk in Deep Jungle. As you see, they also manage the shadows properly here as well. Number 61. Baiting the Wizard Heartless. You can cast any of the 3 basic elemental spells on the Wizard Heartless, which, as you might notice, will actually heal them instead of doing damage. But, did you know that they will actually respond to your spell with their own version of that element? Casting Thunder will cause them to enter a long animation in which they're invincible, where they will continuously drop Thunderbolts on Sora and Pate. Casting Blizzard will cause them to respond with a heat-seeking blizzard spell of their own, which can be blocked, by the way. And if you cast Fire on them, they will respond with their own version of the Fire spell, which can actually be parried and sent flying back at them, which will leave them stunned for a few seconds. Number 62. Gummy Ship Hidden Mickey. During the endgame, the Gummy Ship background will change to suit the darker themes of the story. Well, if you look closely at the patterns in the background, they form a hidden Mickey. Number 63. The Keyblade Swap Glitch. Now, this glitch only seems to work after completing the Ice Titan boss fight for the first time and obtaining the Diamond Dust Keyblade. As you can see on screen, I'm holding the Lady Luck Keyblade, even though the game thinks that I'm holding the Diamond Dust. Right here, you can see that I'm holding the Lady Luck Keyblade, but I have 1 extra MP, and if I enter the menu, the game clearly thinks I'm holding Diamond Dust. I have not found any other times or places in the game where this is performed, but I would assume that you can do it with any Keyblade. Number 64. Sora the Dragon Rider. Well, for those of you who are fans of my Kingdom Hearts countdown list, you'll know that I love to clown on Maleficent. We may as well just rename her Bandit Keith at the moment because of her weakness for flying elephants. Leave a comment in the comments section if you know what I meant. You get the reference. And you know, I do actually like her as the villain. I think she is respectable and elegant, and maybe one of these days I'll run out of ways to make fun of her. But today is not that day. Yah, horsey, yah! Down, horsey. Down! Stop. Stop. I said stop. Stop! Good, horsey. Well, being serious for a moment here. If you just get up on the dragon's back, thanks for the advice by the way, Phil, then she'll be completely unable to do anything but rotate on the spot. Even her homing fire attack will have a hard time hitting you. Number 65. Hollow Bastion Books, Hidden Lore. If you visited the Hollow Bastion library, you may have noticed that there are a number of books all over the floor, which will activate the hidden bookshelves in the area. But you may be wondering about the names of these books. Azal, Theon, Marva. Right? What do they mean? Well, in Arabic, Azal means endless or eternity. It refers to a philosophical concept of endlessness without beginning or end. Marva means abode, a place of dwelling or habitation. It also refers to source or origin. Nahara is a girl's name, and it means light. In Arabic, a similar word, nihara, means gazed or beheld attentively. Saleg refers to a person who is full of love. Theon can be thought of a derivative to the word theon, this word, which refers to the sound of gunfire, but also the sound of sudden laughter. The word theon is also a name, and it can refer to God, or a form of God. It also acts as a verb meaning to run fast, fly, or flow. Running could be a reference to land, or Riku. Flying could be a reference to the sky, or Sora, and flow could be a reference to the ocean, or Kairi. Karma is a word of Persian origin referring to a pen, or specifically a reed pen. It also refers to desire, wish, or longing in Hindu mythology. Hafet is a name that denotes power and success, but also refers to the side of the head or face. Hafet refers to the part just in front and above the ear, just below your hairline. Now, given the order that you collect the books, it's likely a sort of code. By putting the books into numerical order, and let's say 2 books have the same number, so for example we have 2 volume 3s, prioritizing the one that comes first in the alphabet, we get this. Number 1, Azal, volume 3. In the beginning, things always were and always will be. Things were a different way. 2, Marva, volume 3. It was a place of dwelling for all. It was their abode. It was their origin. 3, Hafet, volume 4. People were drawn to power and success. They did not use their ears to listen. They ruined this world. 4, Nahara, volume 5. But the light was still present in the darkness of this world. What was left was beheld attentively. Number 5, Marva, volume 6. The light created a new abode, a new place of dwelling for those who were lost. Things were different than before. Number 6, Theon, volume 6. A new land, sea, and sky were created from the sound of laughter. Number 7, Saleg, volume 6. This new world was more on the side of love. Number 8, Karma, volume 8. Where people could live their lives and follow their desires and wishes. Well, that was surprisingly deep for a few books on the floor. Sorry Dark Souls, but Kingdom Hearts did it first. Thanks for watching the video guys. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video with your friends. Doing any of these things will help my channel to grow, and will help me to be recognised by the YouTube algorithm. You still there? Come on guys, you know me by now. You know I like to keep you all on your toes. Well, here's one more fact for those of you who stuck around this long. Number 66. Sabor, no danger. Did you know that the mighty Sabor, the legendary hunter, the leopard who fought against Sora after he'd beaten Darkseid, Guard Armor, Trickmaster, and wouldn't you know it, the Hound of Hades and the Defender of the Underworld? Well, she can be stopped by a dangling cloth. Ah, look at her go. She thinks she's dangerous. Now, if you guys stuck around to the real end, type Sabor, no danger, in the comment section. Okay guys, now here's the real end. You still there? Ah, come on guys, you all know me by now. You all know that I like to add a little something extra for those loyal viewers who stick around after the main outro. Well, here's an extra add-on to our number 31 entry on the list. So, going back to our number 31 entry on the list for glitch compilation, we have the Olympus Coliseum text glitch. Now, only on your first visit to Olympus Coliseum, when Phil is standing on his podium, open up Jiminy's journal, now close it, and go and talk to him. Then go and try to move this block. Then, open Jiminy's journal again, and talk to Phil. As you can see, the cutscene text will be very buggy. Here it tells me that I've got an elixir keyblade in my inventory. All of the text boxes will also be different as well. And if you try to refuse playing Phil's barrel minigame, the game will softlock, forcing you to just stare at Phil for eternity. However, if you accept his barrel minigame, the game will just continue as normal. Just be careful with these sorts of glitches, as they can be unpredictable and can vary between players. So just as an example, I did the glitch again, and this time it tells me that I got a lowercase e keyblade. All the cutscene dialogue is exactly the same, the only changes are text-based.
What's so funny? I fought a bunch of monsters.
Now, if you made it this far in the video, type Danny DeVito in the comments section. Just a style on those plebs who were fooled by the first two outros. Now here's the real outro. No, it really is the end this time, guys. See you next time.